A desperate battle within a dark and crumbling stone ruin where a party of adventurers faces utter annihilation. A menacing figure clad in jagged, black armor wields a colossal sword and effortlessly dominates the fight. One of the adventurers cries out in frustration because his special, active skill has been rendered useless against this new foe who seemed to appear from nowhere. As the party crumbles, a man with distinctive two-toned hair named Kaoru makes a heroic stand, shouting for his comrades to escape while he holds the line. A female party member with similar hair watches in horror and screams his name, begging him not to sacrifice himself and to run away with them. The scene then transitions abruptly to a bright, modern-day city bustling with life and traffic. A cheerful and energetic blonde high school girl named Cheyenne Ichino stands on a sidewalk, her eyes sparkling with excitement as she gazes at a large advertisement for D-Gale, a brand of equipment for labyrinth explorers. She is joined by her two friends, Michio Otanishi and Chikako Sakamaki, who share her enthusiasm about wanting to upgrade their gear for their upcoming adventure. Cheyenne, clearly the most fired up of the trio, waves her friends over with infectious energy. She explains that she is super excited because they are finally going to the Great Labyrinth. The three girls gather together for a happy selfie, capturing the moment of nervous excitement before their big debut as explorers. As Cheyenne fiddles with her phone, eager to post their picture on a social media platform called DS, Michio suddenly cries out a warning. Cheyenne looks up, startled, to see a large truck barreling towards her. She freezes in shock as it screeches to a halt just inches away. After the scare, she complains loudly about people still driving manually in this advanced age, declaring that the shock was a total mood killer. This prompts Chikako to bring up the old urban legend about people getting hit by trucks and being reborn in another world. Cheyenne just winks playfully and remarks that in a way, they really are about to go to another world. The three friends soon arrive at the sleek, modern headquarters of the International Great Labyrinth Management Association. They approach a reception desk where a composed and beautiful employee named Yatsuya greets them. After confirming their names, she efficiently completes their registration and issues them their official D-terminals. As they walk away with their new devices, the girls are ecstatic, feeling like true explorers at last. Michio quietly comments that the receptionist seemed a bit scary, joking that her hands moved so fast it was like she had 10 of them. Cheyenne, however, was completely captivated by Miss Yatsuya's beauty and rushes back to her desk, gushing about how gorgeous she is and eagerly asking for her skincare secrets, leaving the professional receptionist slightly flustered. Later, in a locker room, the girls change out of their school clothes and into their new explorer outfits. Cheyenne, now dressed in a practical yet stylish adventuring skirt and top, strikes a pose and declares that they are all set. A brief narration explains the world's history, revealing that 25 years ago, 12 great labyrinths, and the gates leading to them appeared all across the globe. This event ushered in an era of state-sponsored exploration known as the Dungeon Rush, as the unique, drop items found within these labyrinths revolutionized technology and society. The trio stands before the entrance to the Yokohama Great Labyrinth, which manifests as a large, swirling black vortex of energy suspended in a dedicated facility. While her friends are a bit hesitant, the ever-eager Cheyenne doesn't waste a moment. Shouting with joy, she proclaims that this is their first step into adventure and leaps directly into the portal. Michio and Chikako are caught in the portal's pole and are sucked in right behind her. After a moment of disorientation, they find themselves in a long, stone corridor, the entrance floor of the Great Labyrinth. Cheyenne is already on her feet while her two friends have tumbled to the ground. She playfully teases them for falling over, cheekily adding that their panties are showing. Michio notes that the stone hallway is rather plain, but Cheyenne reassures her that the deeper floors are said to be more elaborate, with forests and palaces. They decide to check their D-terminals, and a holographic screen appears in front of Cheyenne, displaying her status as name, Cheyenne Ichino's age, 17, and level, 1. Just then, a small, weak-looking slime monster appears nearby, and the girls decide it's time for their first hunt. Cheyenne charges forward and easily slices the creature with her sword, which dissolves and leaves behind a small, glowing item drop. Her friends are amazed at how quickly she defeated a monster. Cheyenne picks up the drop, a small ingot of rare metal, and happily explains that selling it is worth half a day's wages from a part-time job. Thrilled by the prospect of earning money, the three friends decide to press on and hunt for more. This time following the older Kaoru from the opening scene. He is deep within a labyrinth, in a cavern filled with giant, glowing mushrooms. He reflects internally that while there are times in life when one must walk away, he is still chasing his dream. He swiftly dispatches a large, dangerous worm monster, incidentally saving a young male and female explorer duo who were struggling against it. The pair gratefully thank him for his help. Kaoru, with a kind smile, offers them a healing potion. He then makes a strange request, asking if they could finish off the now heavily wounded monster for him. The young male explorer is initially confused, but then his eyes light up as he realizes this means he will receive the experience points for the kill, and he eagerly accepts the offer. His female partner questions why this is a good thing, and he explains that defeating the monster will raise his level. Kaoru simply waves goodbye and walks away, leaving the young explorers to their prize. Later, Kaoru is seen at a lively izakaya, a Japanese pub, surrounded by his old friends. The pub is a reunion spot for his former explorer party. His old comrades have all moved on with their lives. One is discussing his company's new product, while another talks about moving with his family. They have all left the dangerous life of an explorer behind. One of his friends notes that Kaoru, who was once their vanguard known as the Black Arrow, is barely drinking. Another friend playfully teases him with his old nickname, but Kaoru, now 34, gets flustered and tells them not to call him that. They joke about his legendary tolerance for alcohol, while he insists his liver isn't what it used to be and tells them to stop mixing random drinks into the shared pitcher. Kaoru feels a sense of alienation, realizing he's the only one still clinging to the explorer life. He overhears one of his drunk friends bragging about showing a low-floor weakling what's what, clearly referencing the incident where Kaoru let the young explorer get the final hit on the monster. Feeling out of place, Kaoru excuses himself to use the restroom. On his way, he accidentally bumps into an arrogant-looking young man with a punkish hairstyle, lightly scratching the man's expensive D-Gale bag. The young man and his friend become aggressive, demanding compensation. They use a D-terminal to scan Kaoru, revealing his name, Kirkino, and his age. They mock him when they see he registered as an explorer 17 years ago, assuming he must be a coward who has been running from monsters all this time. They grab him and try to intimidate him into handing over his wallet, calling him a bottom feeder. Kaoru effortlessly flips the aggressive young man over his shoulder, sending him flying onto a table. The punk is stunned, having no idea how he was thrown so easily. Kaoru calmly states that he doesn't want to hurt anyone, and the terrified young man quickly apologizes. Kaoru then lectures the group of young explorers, reminding them that the power and high levels they've earned only work inside the labyrinth and that they shouldn't act so cocky in the outside world. The chastened youths bow their heads in apology. As Kaoru leaves the pub, he hears his old friends still joking about him. He reflects on the advice he just gave the young explorers and cringes as he remembers his own past. He recalls being a cocky 20-year-old, the vanguard of his team, Gale 9, known proudly as the Black Arrow. He is deeply embarrassed by his cringy old nickname and his past self-importance. Just then his phone rings. It's Miss Yatsuya from the guild. As she speaks, he thinks back to his old party and how he once believed they could go anywhere together. Yatsuya's voice is urgent. She tells him they desperately need his help at the labyrinth and that the association will pay for a self-driving taxi to bring him immediately. Realizing this is a serious emergency, Kaoru heads toward the guild. Meanwhile, back at the labyrinth entrance, Cheyenne and her friends are being harassed by a sleazy-looking man named Kowloon Ryo. He's filming them without permission and offering his services as a guide, and Michio and Chikako recognize him as an infamous and perverted DTuber. To prove his worth, Ryo activates his active skill, a crackling Raiden whip, and explains that at his level of 27 he can easily handle the monsters on the early floors. He then offers some surprisingly sound advice, warning the girls that their labyrinth powers don't work outside and that they shouldn't get arrogant, a lesson he claims he learned the hard way. Cheyenne starts to think he might not be so bad after all. However, his true nature resurfaces as he uses the pretense of protecting them to grope Michio and Chikako. An angry Cheyenne slaps him hard, declaring that he is the most dangerous thing there. Their confrontation is cut short when a massive, wolf-like beast with a single horn, a unicorn wolf, suddenly appears and attacks another explorer. Cheyenne is horrified, recognizing the monster as a super dangerous creature that should only be on floors below the 10th. The wolf has Kowloon Ryu pinned to the ground. Despite his disgusting behavior, the girls don't want to see him die. Their friends urge Cheyenne to run while the monster is distracted. But Ryu, using an expensive emergency return item, vanishes in a flash of light, abandoning the girls to face the powerful beast alone. The unicorn wolf, its previous target gone, turns its menacing gaze toward the three terrified friends. Panic sets in as Michio and Chikako realize they don't have a return item. Cheyenne, filled with guilt for dragging her friends into this mess just to earn some quick cash, bravely draws her sword. She resolves that it is her duty to get them home alive and charges the monster, declaring herself its opponent. She remembers moving on pure instinct, aiming for the beast's throat. But her sword shatters against its hard skin, a stark reminder of the vast difference in their power. She screams for her friends to run as the monster knocks her down and pins her to the floor. As the wolf looms over her, sniffing her face, she believes her life is over and cries out for help. Suddenly, a black kunai-like blade whistles past the wolf's head, embedding itself in the wall behind it. The monster is startled and looks up. A lone figure stands in a nearby doorway. It is Kaoru, who has just arrived. He calmly reassures Cheyenne that she is safe now. He tells her to hang tight because this won't take long, and then he launches himself into action. Cheyenne watches in absolute awe as he moves with incredible speed, so fast that she can't even hear his footsteps. He becomes a blur, gracefully dodging the wolf's attacks and landing precise, powerful strikes with his sword. In a matter of seconds, with a final, decisive blow, he vanquishes the formidable unicorn wolf.